some people want to be really creative with deck building and put in their like, their pet cards or cards that they like or just mechanics that they like. That's very niche, but the issue is that it's way too slow to the point where it's like, okay, cool, I can get this on this turn, but the turn before, I get OTK'd or my board gets wiped or I can't leave and raise because they're gonna pop off and then have an unaffected Digimon that I can't do shit to.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like you've lost your opportunity because you've been too slow at that point. I can show you what it looks like for me. Ooh, that looks.
What the tiny.
What is that?
I'm looking at like. I'm looking at like Missino from like Red and Blue.
Yeah. It's just like this tiny little guy down there. That's so funny. What the fuck? How did I do that? That's awesome. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to ask the question of like, oh, how do you feel now? Like a couple days after that you've had like a bit of time to, reminisce on your experience like at the in the top 16 bracket. As you were able to. Like have it streamed, your entire run all the way to the top of Swiss. You came first. Did you only ended up dropping one game after all that, right?
I dropped one game against Mirage.
Yeah.
And it came down literally to just nerves, because as soon as I passed the turn, I looked at my hand and I'm like, I had game. It literally came down to just nerves, because I think it's just when there are quite a few people watching the game as well, because like I'm sitting I'm sitting at table 1. There's a judge watching me. There's other people watching me in the background. It's just like I can feel the eyes, and I'm just like, part of me just wants to tell them like, please go away. Let me focus on my game.
Dude, I get that even at locals. Like you'll have everybody else finish up their games, and if you're like playing a really long con, like a really fun one, everybody comes to like spectate, and you're just like you're sitting there, and you're just like. And especially with my locals, I have a couple people who, when you trigger an effect for something or whatnot, they will they'll not shark you, but they'll tell you how the effect works in its writing versus how I've like explained it to make it simple, and it just throws you off so much that you're just like, get the fuck away from me, get away.
Oh
yeah. So like
I know exactly how you feel,
especially when you're like. You're playing for first in top 16 Swiss.
So I think 16, the match that I dropped a game against was against the Mirage player that I believe came third, Marcus.
Yeah.
That game was the one that decided whether or not I was guaranteed into top 16.
Really?
In a sense, because that was round 7. So regardless, they kept to it that they were gonna have 8 rounds. But at that point in time, Marcus and I were the only 2 undefeated because they were draws through the day. Yeah. So what it came down to was that if I won that one, even if I lost the last round, it was fine because all of X1s were guaranteed into top 16.
Yeah.
And then I believe X1 ones after that, and I think there was like 1 or 2 X2s that bubbled in.
Okay.
So I knew as long as I won either one of those 2 last rounds, I was fine. Then when I won that round, I'm like, you know what? I was more upset with myself that I dropped a game, because I'm like, yeah, I'm guaranteed top 16. But god damn it, I dropped a game. I wanted to go undefeated all day.
It would have been actually insane, but like even then, 94% is so fucking crazy, dude.
Like, exactly. That's what I think it was, like 94 point something, and I'm just looking at that. I'm like, I look at them like, I'm proud of that, but I wish I could have seen like right at the top just 100%.
True. All right, do you want to get into it?
Easy.
Yeah, I do like that you've still got your like suitcase open on the bed.
Oh yeah.
Like you're just like you're like me. You finished up, got home, chucked everything away, and then you're just like, fuck it, I don't care. This is next week's problem.
So with eggs, it is 4 QP, 1 demi mirror. Now, most purple lists in general opt for more demi mirrors because we like to see our search targets. However, in this type of deck, where you can get memory out the arse, Cupimon is so beneficial, especially on turns where you have Nidhogg in hand as well, and they don't have a memory setter. You can choke them to 1, and if they want to pop your Ukos, because most of the time that's what's going on top of this, or your Siakos, you are getting so much benefit, and they either have to get rid of the target and risk passing turn, or Cubimon is just a free extender for more memory, especially if they just choke you to 1. You get your search target, pop your memory, and then you can go into your Tamer as long as it's not a Matt. Matt and I have a little bit of a disagreement after the semifinals. You know what?
Yeah,
It's
fucking
fine.
no, but like I totally agree. Like I think Cupimon is like personally looking at it, Cupimon just seems the way because nothing infuriates me more than seeing my opponent just you put them to 1 and then they just rip themselves all the way to up to 4 and then up to 6 and you're just like, what was the point of this? Why did I bother? Like why did I bother when my opponent can just gain 7 memory? Why not? Fuck it, right? But yeah,
Look,
Cupi's crazy.
QB's definitely crazy, and it was very much underrated because not a lot of people were using it at the time. And then a lot of deck lists, even I think like the Latin America one, which I took a little bit of inspiration from, that was running the QBs as well, and you could see how much advantage it just pulled up because of how much memory you were able to get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
rookie lineup.
Interesting
Okay, we
rookie
have
lineup. Let's go.
yeah. So interesting rookie lineup. So we have one of the not so restricted Uko. Sorry, restricted Uko.
Is there
Very good.
anything to say about him, really? Right?
We know why he's here.
Yeah.
I think the most annoying thing about him on the day was needing to remember that the hatch is optional. So if you forgot it, you were screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because for some reason they decided to make it opposite to this Ugo.
Yes. I know.
What?
I know you explained that to me in our second round because I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that. I just think of it in the one cost Ukos sense where it's just like do the effect then then hatch, not vice versa.
Exactly. So because this one's optional, I always had to remember just in case because I'm like, oh, okay, if I raise and I gain the memory, I do not get my hatch.
Yeah.
And it did almost cost me one game because I did forget it in one of my rounds. I
Really?
think it was up against a mirror match as well, which was even worse.
And and they sharked you on it? Oh, well, not shark, but they
No,
put you
no, it
over
wasn't
it,
even
or-
that they should. It wasn't even that the shark made that I forgot it. So I said, oh, I can't. And they're like, aren't you supposed to hatch? I'm like, nope, I moved the memory. And I'm like, I'll catch myself out on that
Yeah,
because
okay, fair. That's fair.
at such a high level tournament, you need to be so concise with the rules because if my opponent did that and it was like in the finals, I'm gonna be like, look, you move the memory counter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
So
you don't want somebody else coming after you for it at the end of it all.
exactly. And also with Uko, mashed up with Louis, the other restricted, his best friend. Yeah, 1 cost for an extra swing sometimes for game. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Next we have 1 Gabu. This was at 2. I decided to take it out for another security bomb, so I think it was running the 4th rivals. I had enough search power, and I wasn't evolving that much on top of my rookie, so I'm like, I can afford to put Gabu to 1.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Because it's similar to the Suga where, you raise it up, you gain a memory most of the time if they've got a Digimon. If they don't, Gabu just becomes he's a body to swing with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The when attacking inherit for draw and trash one as well is good at times if you're looking for pieces. Not always well needed if you've got a Velgra and a Dusk in rotation. After that, the inherit's very, very minuscule.
It's done its job at that point, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of I think was the choice for it.
Yeah. Guilmon for game. You love to see it.
Yes. Rush Gil is a very, very good card.
It's crazy.
Yes, the fact that it's just like, okay, cool. There's 20 in total in both our trash. Sweet. Rush for 3.
Yeah.
It's very good. You can also get extra swings out of it. And if you have enough memory at times, you can go, and you're not going for game at that point, you can go Gil into Dusk and then swing with Dusk, go into Velgra if you don't want that extra Tamer.
Yeah.
So it has its uses.
Yeah.
With, the Forbidden Jack Raid. with the Forbidden card that we will get to later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, going Jack Raid, play this out, swing, and then calling to add it back, and then get another swing with Rush Gil is something that I did find myself doing a couple times through day 1 of Nationals.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just like having that extra body, because I think I keep relating back to our game, but literally like at 3 security, I would be like, oh, I'm just dead, and you're like, well, I wouldn't say that, and it's like, I know I'm dead, buddy. You don't need to. You don't need to
We
hit
go
me
through-
with the, You don't need to hit me with the possibly.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of kill turns that you can do from 3 or even 4 security at times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For Uko, standard as it gets, I suppose.
Yes, the fact that it searches a Tamer or a Digimon is 70-ish to 80% of most decks.
Yeah.
You're missing that one piece, you're missing a Dusk, you're missing a Velgra. Cool. Ugo is going to search it for you and then hatch you another egg.
One piece. One piece. No.
Yeah, one piece, pretty
piece?
much. One piece.
No, but what's the word for it? It's yeah, no, like I was talking about this with a mate of mine that I just think that searcher rookies are almost dead basically because of Uko, considering that you're paying 1 for the search that a rookie could get, but the rookie is not a lot of them actually search for tamers as well, so you're paying 1, you have an extra body, you have tempo advantage, and then also you what's the word for it, you didn't have to pay 3 for it. So,
That's very true.
yeah.
So with Uko, the decks that can use it will abuse it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is the thing. Take, the fact that it'll search up, oh yeah, cool, one of my pieces, and then hatch another egg to just give it to a Luga, and then next turn you get OTK. Yeah, cool.
Pretty much.
It happens. It happens. And the fact that Uko is just a free swing to get little chip damage, because 99% of decks are not evolving on top of Uko.
Yeah.
They physically cannot.
Yeah.
I think the only time I've seen someone do that is I was versing into yellow blue ancient hybrid, and I set it so I'm like, okay, cool, I forgot it was part yellow because I only seen blue at that point, and I changed the Ukomon to yellow, and then they evolved on top of the Uko, and I'm like, right, I changed it to yellow.
That's crazy
Cool.
work, dog. That's crazy. He's just like, I will take advantage of this. Thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
your fine work. Crazy.
Pretty much.
That's kind of sick.
So yeah, look, the decks that can abuse Uko will abuse it. There are certain decks, like for example, like Angels, you will never see them play in Uko.
No, exactly. And
No.
it's funny too because Angels is a deck that probably could benefit from it because all they want is Patamon, but like they don't need to. So like, why bother?
Exactly, because they're for them, like how purple's trash is their second hand, for yellow, security is their second hand, and they can manipulate that a lot more than they can because they know exactly what's in there as well. So next card, 2 Siako. The on deletion draw 1 trash one came in handy a lot, especially when I'm trying to search for pieces or need to get rid of Velgra and don't have Koichi yet. And also the inheritable is pretty good with when attacking, delete opponent's level 3. So
Yeah.
gets around Ghazi's. You're a good boy, don't worry. Gets around opponent's Ghazi's, opponent's Siakos, all the memory haters, and sometimes Luga if they stick it on a board. And yeah, because you can definitely evolve into Dusk and Raising, and then they can't really do anything about it. Did bite me in the butt later on, as we saw from semifinals.
Yeah. Like I think you were probably one of the like most prolific users of digivolving in Raising with your Dusk than like I've ever seen a purple hybrid player do. Like both from our games and the semifinals, and like what I watched as like I walked by here and there is I have not seen a purple hybrid player like digivolve in Raising as much as you, like just across the board.
It's because sometimes you don't want to pass turn with like either playing a 4-cost Tamer or having to like give them so much memory or even passing.
Yeah.
So evoing in Raising is just like, okay, if I have a second one in hand, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Or if I have Matt in trash, I'm fine.
Okay, cool. It's also cool because I thought you had more Siako than just 2.
No, I only ran 2 Siako.
Yeah, because you saw it every single game, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. That's a nice 4 of.
I know, it's a nice 4. No, bro, it's a 2.
It's a 2.
And then the last rookie, 2 Ghazi, helps with memory blocking, helps with a lot of matchups that I did verse, did not come up as much as I thought. Mostly was up against Mirage, but they kept bouncing the rookie back as soon as they hit the 4.
Yeah.
So it did not help at times.
I think every deck that is like expecting or that gains a lot of memory just expects Ghazi, so they're equipped for it.
That's very true. I will agree to that because
I mean,
the memory blockers are used, but it does not help when there's so many ways of getting rid of level 3s now.
Yeah, literally. I mean, even I had like Flamon in my deck, and it's like you still gotta find it at some point, but yeah,
Exactly. You still gotta find the card too.
I gotta find it.
Now to level 4s. So the spread is 4 Velgra, 4 Dusk. You know. Yeah, I know, right?
Not a single alt art, dude.
Dude, I wish I had the alt arts. I wish I had the alt arts.
I'm fucking stacked on alts for except for like 2 Velgas, but like my problem, I haven't played enough of the deck to warrant owning them.
See, I wish I could. I played like a lot of iterations of the deck trying to find which was the best way. I tried a Pockly Mill. I tried a Pockly Mill with Raidenmon milling 14 cards in a turn. And
You were telling me about that. That shit's so sick.
Oh look, it was janky as hell. But when it worked, it was freaking funny because they're like, okay, cool. So I mill 28 cards and then I die. Yes.
Yeah. You've been playing the game for more than 30 seconds and you mill 14. I guess it's over.
So yeah, look. Obviously bread and butter of purple hybrid. Dusk changing colors of Tamers and Digimon. People will still forget it. That is the end of their turn, so they can't physically Digivolve. So it does stop their turns against a lot of decks that don't have black box, like Mirage and Levy, for example, because none of them really have black box except if they're going into the X's.
Yeah, true. Yeah, for sure.
And then Velgra end of attack, just killing either itself or killing one of their purples or something you change to purple to pop their biggest stack. One of the best things.
It's so crazy. It's nuts.
And I feel like it is balanced because it's end of attack, not on deletion. Because if it was on deletion and it dies in security, okay, cool. I get my effect anyway.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can't see me like what's the word for it? Kind of shrugging a little bit here and be like, well, but I agree. Like if you hit something in security and it dies and you just didn't have enough memory to like do it again, then it becomes fair. But it is funny that it like launches itself up to 13k, 14k, and then it lives all the time.
Oh yeah, and then stacking a Dusk into Velgra into Dusk because they all just evo on top of one of each other and then swing into another Dusk. Being able to swing over stuff like Magna X and have them not be protected because they can't block. The only thing they can't defend against is DP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the last 2 cards we have for level 4s is 1 Kaiser and 1 Promote.
The Promote is just nuts. I didn't get it. Like every time I saw this list, like where it had the one of Promote, I was just like, I don't fucking understand this card. Why is everybody running this card? And then you did it to me, and I was like, fuck me, dude.
That's why they play the card. Yeah. So the Kaiser is mainly for the turns where you've set up a bunch of Tamers the turn before, and instead of going into Velgra for each one, you are just going Tamer into Dusk, swing Evo into another Dusk from trash, swing Evo into another Dusk, and then the last part of it is you go the Kaiser on top of the mat, because this still Evos on 2 for a Tamer, instead of 3 on any other Tamer.
Yep.
So this was a cheap Evo, as well as if it was on a Koichi, you would get the retaliation.
Yeah,
or if for some reason I didn't see a Velga early, I could still leave it on top of here and get the on deletion for the Tamer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Part of learning the deck is just like learning how to constantly recycle both like the hybrids and the Tamers, and it's such a huge like skill curve.
Definitely. And then the Promote just being able to Evo for 1 on top of any level 4 just meant that at any point in time, my Tamers, even though they'll play that turn, could just be another swing for game.
Yeah. Did you have like a lot of people like how I did as I zoned out after my turn on the last game, where I was like, oh, just by the way, this Tamer can't swing for game, and you were like, no, yeah, you can. Watch this. Did you have that
I did have a couple people who were being like, they were confused at first, seeing like me Evoing on top of the Tamer. Like, you played that one this turn, right? I'm like, yeah. And then I go to Promote, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, for sure. And like I just remember I zoned out, and then you evoed over it, and I'm like, hey, that one can't attack, and you're like, no, it's all good. Watch this. And I was like, oh,
I think
fuck.
Okay, so for this list we have a not so top end.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have the 1 Agumon, which is for the mirror match, keeping all opponents as Tamers suspended. while it's on the field and being able to evo for cheap on top of any of the purple hybrids and just have them stay like that.
Yep.
Very beneficial. I think this only came up once in one of my mirrors, but even so, it did save me that game.
Yeah, for sure. Did you just outpace every other mirror?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
There were times that like the mirrors were different variances. I versed like a Creepymon Riki top end as well, which tried to turbo mill themselves,
Yep.
and then I ended up milling them instead.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the other ones I was just able to out tempo.
Yeah, for sure. Did you verse an Apocalypse at all?
No Apocles. No
Okay.
Apocles. I think the pure or the purple yellow variants were like the main ones that were there because I think people would just realize that like yes, Apocles is good, but with Scramble running around,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
it's way too easy for just to be like, oh yeah, cool. I top deck this card. I have my turn. Hey, I don't mill out, and then I kill you next turn.
Yeah.
For Apocalys, yes. However, with Purple Hybrid though, because you're popping all your stuff at the end of turn,
It's a
so
lot
many
easier,
people in the
yeah.
day were thinking like, oh, they're starting their turn, and they're just like, oh, just thinking on Scramble, and I look on my board, I'm like, you can't Scramble.
Yeah.
They're like, why not? I'm like, I have no Digimon.
Yeah.
They read their card. Oh shit.
Yeah. No, like, and even I like commentating. I did a disservice to Tin by like not realizing that myself because it never comes up. It never comes up that your opponent doesn't have a Digimon on field, so you're deciding to scramble. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, it just never comes up. So it's
The only deck except Purple Hybrid because they're killing themselves.
yeah, exactly. So you're just like, oh yes, I would like to scramble here, and it's like, no, go fuck yourself.
So the one purple level 6 we're running is 2 Nidhogg.
Yeah.
Trashing this card to gain memory along with QP is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially also you can Calling from Darkness, add back a Dusk, and add back one of these. Because if you have another rookie that's alive, okay, cool. I pitch it again, I gain another memory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Just that one.
the memory gain.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just that extra memory just makes all the difference in this deck, so that you can just keep doing shit.
Between the QPs, the Nidhoggs, the Jack Raids, just there's so much memory gain from this deck, especially with the Ondulation Koichis as well. Just everything becomes basically free.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the one of Gallant,
The lad himself.
the lad that is the honorary purple card, because
True.
he's like for every 5 in both players' trash, reduce it by 2. Okay, cool. Most games I'm playing this out for free to get another swing in.
Yeah.
The only time where this is annoying is when your rookie doesn't die.
Oh yeah, true. So you don't have like 2 extra things or 3 extra things in the trash, right?
Well, no, because if you have a Digimon, you can't play it by its effect.
Oh, that's right. Yep. It's
Yes.
been so long since I played with that card.
I know. But it is a very good rush target. I believe one of the other lists as well was playing the Crimson mode as well, which could work. Like I definitely agree that card could work, but not being able to add anything back from it is very harsh.
Not being able to add anything back from it. What do you mean by that?
Oh no, like sorry. Like if you trash it, for example, you're not getting it back.
Oh yeah. For sure. I got you.
Yes. So seeing like Gallant in security is just like, okay, cool. I don't get one of my extra swings, but I still have 3 other ways.
Yeah. You've just like when you mill it off of your Velga, it's gone, and now we
Exactly.
just move on with the game plan.
Pretty much. And then we have the one of Death X. This was a last minute addition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy that I did put it in.
Yeah.
Against Take that spits out a lot of Tamers from their Luger, with Analog Youths, with mirror matches into Hybrid, with Angels trying to go wide. Death X is just oh yes, you exist, Digivolve everything, and wipe all 4s or lower.
Yeah.
So if you have it against an Angel board, for example, goodbye Domini, and then goodbye their aces of level 6s, or if they're level 5 aces, okay, cool, they just go level 4s and just...
It just, like it for sure just makes it a lot easier, especially against Angels, because they are trying to be the, like, off-meta counter-pick to most of the meta. So yeah, just having, like, one card that Digivolves just says, fuck you. I know,
it was...
I know in our game, you dropped that for, like, 11, because I had, like, 2 Tamers and 1 Digimon, but I was already bricking, so I'm like, that's cool, dog. That's my bad. I get it. I'm not doing shit anyway.
Yeah, when you like played a rookie for the second time and put another Tamer down,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, okay, I don't think there's anything else he's doing or that's in hand because he would have evoed and raised up.
Yeah. It was just like, cool. My bad. My apologies. I wasn't doing anything, and you have just dropped a hydrogen bomb on a nuclear baby here. Nuclear baby.
Pretty much.
Coughing baby.
Okay, so we have the Tamer lineup now.
Yeah.
We'll start with the memory setter. Matt, very good memory setter. Adding back basically anything except a Tamer from the deck.
Mhm.
Very good to recycle Jack Raid.
Yeah.
Which is its main purpose, or recycling Duskmon.
Yeah, true. So I only just realized that you have 3. In commentating, I thought that you had 2 of the mats because we saw 2 in your security. You were digging for it for like a quarter of the game that you lost, and
Correct.
and I was just like, he has to just be running it at 2 because you just ain't seeing it.
No, so when I looked through it again, Matt was the literal last card in my deck from searching as well.
Yeah.
So that was very mortifying, that game, especially because if I had just done the other play beforehand that we had spoke about after the game, I would have realized that I had the extra swing for game if I did not make that mistake and swing with even went to hybrid and swing with Dusk. But it is fine. Matt is still a good card, even if it's doesn't like to be seen often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
no,
crazy good card.
Still a crazy good card to this day. BT2. Adding back any purple card is just ridiculous, especially as time goes on and we get new support.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that you're able to like pre-play it off Dusk, you're just like, cool. I get to freely call from darkness. I get to freely technically Rivals Barrage it.
Exactly. So from that, you were just adding back your either one-ofs or your tech cards. Like adding back calling off of Matt is just like, yes, this is the reason that calling is at 1.
Yeah.
This is why we don't like it when it gets renewed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, every new set reminds me why calling is at 1 now.
Oh yes.
So crazy.
I would say the second best Tamer, and the reason we run it for Koichi, draw and trash 1 on deletion, gain a memory.
Yeah.
Extremely good with Dusk. Pitching that Velgramon off of this and having Dusk in hand is just turn 1 play. And if you have Uko, which 9 out of my 10 games I did start with Uko, Koichi, and Dusk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I need 1 piece, and I have like 5 things that get me there game 2. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, Koichi's crazy. He's it's so funny to me that he became the best Tamer when like we got given this new Koichi as well. Just like, no, the old Koichi is crazy.
Look, this Koichi is good for renewing your stuff.
Yeah.
But Purple has so many ways of renewing your stuff anyway that it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, he's just good. He's just good in the mid to late game.
He's good in mid to late game, but you never really want to slam him for 4.
No.
Unless it's like turn 1 and you have Velgra in hand and you have a Dusk. That would be like my only argument, because you go to 2. You can do the turn. You can swing mill with Velgra first and then do the inherit if you hit another hybrid off of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, half the time you either want to be playing Matt or the other Koichi from that effect. Just because it's a much better Tamer, and 4 cost is way too high for it.
Yeah.
And the only non-purple Tamer, Louis. Yeah. On play. Yeah, exactly. 1 cost raise, 2 cost raise. Especially if it's an Uko as well, getting that extra egg for next turn, and even seeing this early game and just being hyper aggressive for those checks, which I did do a couple times in my game. I think one of my games against Vincent, if I see this card, I'm just going to drop it as early as I can, or I'm going to keep it in hand for game.
Yeah, for sure.
This card can never come off at 1. It can never come off at 1.
Never
No.
again, dog. It was already like moderately bad with a yellow-blue hybrid, and then it was just like, people finally tinkered with it and cracked it, and it's just like, shit, dog. This shit is never leaving the list, or leaving the restricted zone.
It is really not, because the fact that you can just bring up a rookie, or even whatever's in raising, is not fair in any sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's
There's a reason why we can only hatch or raise once a turn,
Yeah.
minus like green, but no one really sees Mimi anymore.
It's too much to like drop Mimi and do the same thing in turn. But like the moment I think you see a like a deck that can feasibly drop Mimi for 0 like consistently, that'll just that'll be the day Mimi gets hit.
That's very true. Like even like my Rapid X opponent, the way his deck functioned by playing out green Tamers was very scary. Just it was very unfortunate what had to happen round 1.
Yep. No, I feel extraordinarily bad for him. I genuinely think there's like a world I might hit him up and be like, yo, do you want to do like a deck profile anyway? And then just put that as like the caveat as to why you didn't even get to play, I guess. Crazy.
Yeah, pretty.
Crazy work from them, like a torture method to make him play the round out without eggs. By the way, it's like the one deck that uses every single egg multiple times, and they're like, play your deck without eggs. Like,
yeah, okay. Look, I understand the ruling,
yeah.
And it's very freaking harsh. And I just looked at him, I'm like, this is the deck that counters mine. And the night before, I'm like, no one has this deck to test into. I can't test this deck into.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out. And we go there, and he's like, you're gonna be fine. And I'm just like, oh, I'm worried. I'm like, and then he told me he has a game loss.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit. Then I'm shuffling my deck, and I'm like, I give him my eggs, and I'm like, where's your eggs? He's like, I can't play with them. And I'm like,
oh, dude.
My heart sank for him.
I didn't even realize you played him first. That's crazy.
Exactly. I played him first. So he countered my deck entirely, which he built the deck for.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, in my head, my heart sank for him. But also in my head, I'm like,
thank God.
I don't think I can. Part of it was like, thank God, I don't think I can actually lose this.
Yeah. You never like wish bad upon your opponents, but at the same time, the moment you're versing them, you're wishing bad upon your opponent.
Oh yeah. Hey, look, it's what happens.
Yeah, it is what it is.
All right.
Show me them options, lad.
Okay, so for member boosts, we have 2-1 split between Mist and Purple. Originally, this deck was running 3 Purple. I changed him over to Mist for the sole reason of this deck likes to have shit and trash.
Yeah.
It likes to mill rivals.
Yeah.
It likes to have other pieces in there. It likes to have mats in there, when they decide to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I did prefer this, especially because there was a couple times through the day where I would play Purple Memory Boost, and I would hit a mix of just options and tamers.
Yeah.
So I searched nothing, and one of my games, seeing 3 rivals and a Jack Ray go to the bottom, and my opponent just looked at it and was just like,
sucks to suck, buddy.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, cool. I feel so much better now that they're at the bottom of your deck, and I'm like, yeah, it was a
and so like, I assume that the decision for the split becomes like Miss Memory Boost is there to do like, hey, I want everything in trash, and then the one game where somehow you have seen all of your tamers, all the options you need that one memory boost to just boost into dig 4 deep. Find yourself like Dusk or Velga specifically. Yeah.
Pretty much. Like the purple does help look through cards, but because of how many tamers and options there are, you're seeing maybe 2 to 3 tamers or options in that 4-card pile half the time. So I'm like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I opted off the 4, opted off the 3, and went the 2-1 split, and I was very happy with how that went because there were so many times where
I think it's perfect.
I had so many games where it's like, oh yeah, cool. Mill Dusk, mill Rivals, or mill Velgra, mill Matt, and I'm just like, oh cool, I'm set up for next turn.
Yeah, so yeah.
Felt so bad for my opponents when they looked at that.
So often, I mean, even in just our games, just seeing you go like Mist, drop Velga, and literally anything else, just as long as it's the Velga in trash turn 1, I'm like, he's that guy. Fuck my life. Yeah, my bad, dog.
Who's that guy?
He is him.
Yes. So the most abusable card in this deck, Jack Raid. Yes.
Thoughts on it possibly wanting to be gone to 1?
To 1?
To 1.
See, this is the thing.
Wait, Hammer Sparks at 1. Yeah, to 1 I think is like reasonable because like when we talk about bans and restrictions in Digimon, when you say like, oh, this card needs to be banned, it is mostly under the assumption by everybody who is normal that we mean restrictions to 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Mirage, I just hate with passion. That thing can go die in a hole. Mirage can go die in a hole. I hate the card. It survived way too long.
Yeah, fair at this point.
Yes. Jack Raid, do I think it should get hit to 1? Personally, and it's not just because I'm a purple player, but personally, I don't think so. And the sole reason is that, yes, mid to late game, Jack Raid is very beneficial. Yes, it can be looped with certain things.
Over and over again?
Like map. Yes, like map, for example.
No once per turn?
No once per turn. Yes.
Yep.
Do I think that? To mid to late game, the power of this card becomes from, it's okay, to this is stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how the power goes for this. But when you're in that early stages of the game, if this is in your hand, and it is a dead card.
Yeah, but like, I guess from my point of view, it's like you already have enough things that you want, like unless if you're really bricking, you already have enough things that you want to do in your early game with the rookie rush and like setting up Tamers anyway. So like, yeah,
I do agree in that sense. But I think the only reason why I don't think it'll get hit is because if Jack Raid is like, oh yes, all purple decks like to have stuff in trash, but not every purple deck plays Jack Raid.
Yeah, I get that.
Yes, so look, there are different engines in every purple deck. I feel like the purple hybrid engine makes Jack Raid very abusable.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what we've seen now.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would hit something in the purple hybrid engine first before they hit Jack Raid itself.
Yeah.
But if you hit Dusk, the deck kind of dies. Literally, if you hit Velgra, the deck kind of dies.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 Rivals. Very good card when it gets trashed. Adds back any piece. It's like a pseudo mat. It just needs to be trashed. When you see all 4 of them in hand, except if you're versing Mirage, kind of shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, against Mirage, you need them in your hand though.
Would you consider like bumping it down to like 3?
I was playing it at 3, and then I took out Gabu to put it to 4.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. 1, Mirage. 2, Take.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Because Take doesn't have protection.
Yeah, you just sling him with the Rivals and then just walk it off. Get back to the game plan.
Pretty much. Like if they hit the Rivals in security, like the way Take play now, it was only 2 security they were ever hitting. They were hitting 1 early that was either going to be a rookie that died or the Daruga that could protect itself.
Yeah.
So those were the only 2 ways that first security was going, and either way, the Daruga protected itself or the rookie's dying, and then they just bring out Take, swing, trash 1, Alliance, the checked 2. It's not dying to anything with DP, and then they trash the last security.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it became a thing of, I want more security bombs, like Rivals, like Jack Raid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed it, because I knew I was going to verse into Take.
Yeah.
Which did end up being the case.
And the Rivals Barrage is just crazy too. It's just such a good card. I was enjoying it so much at 4 in the Apocalypse version that I was running of the
yes.
Of the deck. So like just getting a mill.
It is such a good card. It is such a good card for any mill deck. Beals, this, Apocalypse. It helps out in so many ways, especially getting those pieces back that you're missing, or they accidentally get trashed or hit in security.
Yeah.
And obviously having it restricted to purple is like, it's good design for the card. It can't make it abused of like other decks, and I'm happy where it is. It doesn't. It's a good card. It's a good card.
Yeah.
Deathslinger. So Rivals Barage's little cousin.
Yeah.
When he gets milled, gain a memory. This is very good when you have those turns where it's like, oh cool, Velgra mills both of them, and I gain 2 extra memory. Okay, I have lethal now.
Yeah. Insane.
Also very good in anywhere. Good in security, good in hand. You just build up that trash, you pop a Mirage, it gets hit in security, you pop their biggest threat, or because it just pops a 4 or lower to start off with, you can even pop something like this being annoying, like a memory blocker or a floodgate.
Yeah.
Would I run it at any more than 2? I don't think so, because the deck is tight as it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I think 2 was the way. So having 10 security bombs, 4 Jack Raid, 4 Rivals, 2 Deathslinger, was definitely the way for my security. I did see multiple of them through the day in my security. Sometimes 3 or 4 options of them in security in one game. So
Yeah, cool.
when it's like that, it's like, okay, cool. Am I playing Setcon? No, but my security just kills you.
Am I playing Setcon? No, but close.
But close.
Gain 2
And the
memory
last card,
raid.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then the last card, Calling from Darkness. This card is still stupid to this day. Deleting a Digimon, then adding 2 back. So you can either add the thing you needed, even if you have an empty board, you can just play it,
Yep.
kill nothing, and then add back a Digimon.
Yep.
There's a reason. There's a reason this card is at 1. I do not think that it'll ever come off from 1
No,
because adding back 2 Digimon for just 1 cost, and even if you want something like, for example, like one of your rookies doesn't die, you pop it with that, you trash it. What's good? You trash an Nidhogg, gain the memory. So you're basically adding 2 Digimon back for free.
Exactly.
Then you can trash again, and it's like, okay, cool. If I'm trashing a Nidhogg, I'm using this option for +1 memory. It's like almost the Hammer Spark.
Yep. Crazy shit. That's cool. Now this is God. This is such a fantastic list. I think when Nick first showed it to me, and I was like, wait, this is so aggressive. It's not funny. Pretty much when I knew that it was just gonna be like a pretty high tier deck.
Look, it is extremely aggressive. There are people that play it in the more control-y style way where it's like the purple-yellow because they go into Rigi and then like Venusmon.
Or like
You-
Central, yeah.
Exactly, or like Central. Those you can play it, and then also to even go into that, you can play it. Like you can play actual top end, like in Shine. So there's a lot more control-y. But the aggressive playstyle of it, as long as you don't hit like everything they want in security, next turn you're pretty much swinging for game.
Yeah, for sure.
And against some of the powerhouses in the meta, like Mirage and like Take, you need to outpace them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this deck is built for. It's just like, if you're off for like half a turn, this game is over now. Everything is built to move forward as fast as possible. But like, yeah, if you hit a bunch of like trainings and mem boosts and Thomas H. Norstein's insecurity,
Oh yeah.
then you're just like, oh fuck, oh shit, dog.
Yeah, the game that I lost to Marcus, pretty much insecurity. I hit like he was just setting up all game, and he didn't even bring up a single Digimon until the turn where he just killed me.
Yeah.
And 3 cards in my security as well, which did not help, was Matt, Koichi, and then Calling. So everything kept adding cards to my hand,
Yep.
and he would just use burst mode's effect to, oh yeah, cool, unsuspend, swing.
Yeah, incredibly
Unsuspend, swing.
Yeah, it's so annoying when your deck betrays you like that. But yeah.
Oh yes.
I would I guess like do what were your matchups like, but I guess the short and sweet is what was your top 16, I guess is the best way to put it, right? Because you only had to do 3 games?
4 games, because I still had to play out for 3rd.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So first game was Inter Rapid, which would have been my worst matchup ever. However, due to submitting a deck list without eggs, he did unfortunately get a game loss and had to play the round without eggs. So we had about not even a 5-minute game, and we're just like, you know what? When I get my deck back, which was close to the end of the day, we'll have like a proper game. We didn't end up getting that chance, but I know that just like it would have been absolute horror for me to verse that deck.
I'm gonna have to rip you two into like a Discord call and be like, play now.
Oh, definitely. I am definitely down for that.
That'd be sick. But yeah, and then your second game, I think we did see was the it wasn't against Tin because that was your last game, right?
No. So it wasn't against Tin. So my second round was against Mirage. I versed him with Mirage. That one also ended up becoming a 2-1 game. I'm freaking terrified of Mirage, just because of how many cards they can add back to hand. It was funny, however, every time he asked me throughout the 3 games, how many cards do you have in hand? I said 5. Every single time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, keep nothing in hand, keep nothing in hand, keep nothing in hand, use whatever I can, hard play shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just make them pay the full cost and hope that they don't get away with it.
Yes, so it ends up we went to game 3, ended up just clutching it out because he hard slammed Hexy.
Yeah,
Oh no, sorry, it wasn't a hard slam. It was a 4-5-6 into hex. So I think it was just he hard slammed the 4, went into the 5, went into hexy.
Mm-hmm.
So my hybrids could not swing.
Yeah.
It ended up going. I just double stacked Dusk into Velgrit into Dusk.
Yeah.
And then promote. So I'm like, okay, cool. Swing. My dumbass forgot to change his level 4 that was on the field to a different color, and for some reason I changed the Hexablow.
Yep.
Even though knowing he didn't run any level 7s, and I was just forgetting because I was so used to being bonded for game or paladin moded.
Yep.
So he evoed into the Zudo on top of the level 5, but because I didn't have it had 3 sources at the time, so it was mid swing. He trashed 2 sources but couldn't bounce to level 4, so I was able to swing for game in that game.
Yeah, for sure. I get you.
So
got it
I'm
in
still
the end.
exactly. I'm still terrified of Mirage. I hate the card.
Yeah.
I hate the card so much.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. Then you versus
Yeah.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about like that like final, I guess, game losing play? Unfortunately.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. So the game state was he was at 3 security and a Soluga and a was it Tyranno on the field?
It was Soluga and a Tyranno. Because
Yeah, that's. I was trying to remember if it was called Tyranno or not. Yes. Yes. So Tyranno on the field, Soluga.
Yeah.
Yes. My dumbass remembered the Soluga effect and thought, nah, it's fine.
He just won't have it. He simply won't be him.
Well, it wasn't even that. I knew it was in trash because I trashed it.
I know. I'm just like
he just completely
won't remember.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I should be fine. I'll find a mat. That was my thought process. I'll find a mat. It's fine. No, it was not fine because I never found a mat. But yes, swinging. Yes, evoing into the second Duskmon first after I had brought up the first one was a very big misplay for me. I should have just swung the first one, evoing into it, knowing he was gonna block.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that he was going to like. Part of me thought like, oh, he might let it through, but no, he knows that he can't let it through because I also versed Vincent day 1 as well.
Yeah.
Yes, so day 1 I did beat him 2-0.
Yeah.
So this was a little bit of like a redemption for him as well. That
for sure.
Yeah.
I think too, like, yeah, I was just genuinely surprised that you decided to like, walk the Koichi up at the same time because I was like, oh yeah, he just swings one, the Tyranno blocks, maybe he'll combo here, and then you just go with the Koichi or like keep moving forward with your other effects. Because I can't remember the last time that a hybrid player has decided to like double up, because like that's just such a great protection, like form of protection for hybrids.
Yeah, so I don't. To be completely honest, I don't even remember why I did.
Yeah, but like
I don't
again,
know why I
on
did.
the world stage, type shit. It's just like the pressure gets to you at some point. I can't like ever take that away from players.
Yeah, look, I think that through day 1, I played as optimally as I probably ever had.
Yeah.
And going into game 2, every game after game after game, I was nervous more and more and more. So eventually, like, look, people are human. We're gonna make mistakes.
Exactly.
It just so happened that my mistake cost me second or potentially even first place.
Yeah. Same with Vincent. Unfortunately, we are human. We are but humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it did end up costing me the game because eventually after that, I could not find a single mat. I could not find my Gallantmon after drawing so many cards.
Yeah.
All of them were in security.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had no way of getting through my memory as well, especially because all 4 Jack Raids are in trash. See, it's not that good of a card if they're all in trash.
I mean, if you can't search it again, God, it's just the worst card in the game. Like, it's whatever.
No.
I think Bandai should look away for a few seconds while I gain 6 memory. Look away.
Yeah, exactly. But look, it did come down to the point of I could not get enough memory to go for that final swing, and he knew I had Louis in hand. I just needed a single Jack Raid, a single mat to be hit, or to see the Gallant, and all of them just ended up being insecurity or in my trash that I couldn't retrieve.
Yeah. And then your last game against Tin just ended up being a bit of a rush down.
Yeah, look, unfortunately it did. He was able to build up to level 5, and then I was expecting to go into Gallon X. And then when he swung with the War Growl, it it died in security, and I'm like,
Oh.
oh,
Oh no.
there's no Gallant.
I'm so sorry, dog.
Yeah, I felt bad because he was searching for it as well. Like he was searching the pieces, and he had to bot deck one of them, I think, as well, during one of the first few searches. But he needed the rookie.
Yeah.
And then game 2, I think I rushed him down so fast. He found a level 3, and then that was it.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, Ari. Thank you for like coming and giving the deck profile.
It's all good, man.
I look forward to like seeing you in like other events. Obviously, this was like the first time we met, and then every round afterwards, you're like, hey, come here.
Hey, I'm still going. I'm still going.
I'm still going, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, man. I'm getting my fucking ass kicked out here. But like, that's just my fault. That's my fault, bro.
I could shout out so many people like freaking on this. Shout out No Pants Gaming, my team from Sydney.
Sick.
Look, we do wear pants to tournament, so we're legal.
Sick. Actually, I guess the best way to put it is like, any last thoughts before we finish up?
Nats was very good. I hate Bandai for only letting first go, compared to like America and Europe.
It's crazy.
But look,
yeah.
it is what it is because it is such a bigger tournament space. I understand that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it for one area, do it for the rest. Because
Yeah.
like there are some amazing players in Oceania, Latin America, who do like end up topping quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to these nationals, it's like, okay, we only have one representative from these places, where others like Japan, Japan, America, Europe have like 3 competitors that are there.
It would be sick if we got like, top 3 players. Like you said, we have so many like good players here. You see the same names over and over again throughout pretty much like a top 16 over and over again.
Exactly.
So it would be really cool to have like a 3 players go instead of 1, considering that everybody here is just as good, if not just as good as like American players.
Like we have a couple of people over here, Rusty, Declan. We like talk to like Huang's server a lot as well, and like always spin back and forth. It's usually always purple decks because we just cope with a lot of purple.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the next deck that I'm trying to figure out how it's going to be properly is Ghosts, because there is some bullshit to deal with that, and I'm looking forward to it in 2.5.
It looks strong, yeah. It's so.
Oh, it does.
All right, man. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for coming
No
on
worries.
for the deck profile. I'll for sure be seeing you in the next like top 16 or something like that.
Oh, you definitely will.
And I'll be seeing you at your next events.
No worries, man.
All right. Catch you later. Bye.
Catch you.